Limerick Chamber recently made a submission on behalf of our members to the mid-term review of the Regional Airports Programme. The Regional Airports Programme was originally designed to support regional airports in terms of operational financing, capital funding, funding for security and funding for items like the fire brigade. What Limerick Chamber would like to see from the current review is an expansion of the programme to include all regional airports in the state. That includes state-owned airports such as Shannon and Cork. What we'd also like to see from the mid-term review is greater support for public service obligation flights. Post-Brexit, Shannon Airport is without a main route to a European hub. And what we'd like to see is a direct route to a Northern European hub with great onward connectivity. That'll increase business linkages in the area, it'll increase attractiveness of the Midwest, and ultimately it'll bring us closer to Europe. As it stands, the Regional Airports Programme supports passengers of up to 1 million per year. We'd like to see this expanded up to 3 million per year. This is allowed within EU state aid rules. So any airport that has passengers of 3 million or less can apply and gain access to the Regional Airports Programme. But up until now, it's only serviced private airports up to 1 million with a brief introduction of Shannon and Cork airports due to COVID. This should be expanded long term so airports can make the required sustainability upgrades. When you think of Shannon, and it's important to the aviation industry, we've one of the longest runways in Ireland. It's also the last airport before the Atlantic, which means it's key in security for aviation crossing. In terms of utilising existing capacity, it's important that for sustainability going forward that we examine and understand the capacity that's in all airports in Ireland. Regional airports are under capacity, which means we've more scope to expand in the future without significant developments. We also have to be cognizant of embodied carbon and what's already been put into building these airports. It makes much more sense to expand and use existing capital projects rather than expanding the likes of Dublin any further. It would also mean that people travelling to airports would take shorter journeys and they'd be travelling closer to home. Both these aspects are very important from a sustainability point of view, and it also makes the region stronger. So an important part for us with the Regional Airports Programme is the National Development Plan and Project Ireland 2040, and of course ultimately growing the regions in a business sense and in a population sense. But to do this we have to have a strong airport. We have to have a strong airport that's able to connect us to our European neighbours through short flights with great onward connectivity. So we're calling on government as part of this mid-term review to focus on sustainability, to focus on Project Ireland 2040, and ultimately to focus on supporting the airports to make significant upgrades that they need, but also the use of public service obligation routes. When you look at the likes of our European neighbours, they spend millions per annum in terms of supporting PSO routes, and that's something that we'd like to see for the Midwest and indeed all regional areas.
There are obvious consequences to the overdevelopment and the oversized market domination of a capital city airport, and it's a contributing factor to the congestion, the increased house prices and the concentration of economic development that we see in the Greater Dublin area. Yes, we need connectivity from this island into our market in the EU. Yes, we need to sustain and support the businesses that are here, but no, it does not all need to come through one portal and one airport. The government must develop national aviation policy that supports housing and job creation along the other parts of the country, around the other urban centres, Galway, Cork, Limerick, Waterford. These areas can sustain further growth, but they need the access to market to support that.